How to launch a DAO. When done with the appropriate amount of knowledge and commitment, launching a new business can be quite rewarding. Your choice of legal structure for your company will have a direct impact on how efficiently it operates and the amount of profit it generates for you. A decentralized autonomous organization, often known as a DAO, is a paradigm that has only been around for a short while but is currently receiving a lot of interest. Let's go through this form of company entity in detail and talk about how to establish one if this is something you've never heard of before. A decentralized autonomous organization, also known as a DAO, is a type of organization that enables groups of people with similar interests to run their company without the need for a hierarchical authority figure and instead through decentralized governance. The members of the DAO can work together and manage the entity openly and honestly. Members of the organization have full authority over the computer software that stores the organization's rules, thus there is no need to be concerned about the possibility of interference by third parties. DAOs are distinguished from typical organizations by their autonomy, which also contributes to their status as an alluring business model. Now, how exactly does one make one of these? In an attempt to make the process of establishing a DAO as transparent as possible, we have created this step-by-step guide on how to launch a DAO. To establish a DAO, it is required that you first have an understanding of what a written smart contract with decentralized governance entails, as well as an understanding of all the terminology and concepts used within the cryptocurrency industry. It is also important to have some degree of prior knowledge regarding decentralized technology and various existing cryptocurrencies. Create a mission statement and define goals. Before you establish your new entity, it is important to have a clear understanding of the values and goals of your DAO. This can range from anything, such as providing services that would be impractical to provide through a traditional business model, to creating an efficient and profitable company. The primary goal of this first step is to create a mission statement that describes the vision and goals of your company articulately. You will also need to specify what the DAO will be used for. It is important to have this all written down and signed by the founding members to document the vision of your company. Establish a set of rules. The next step is to write down not just one, but several sets of rules that are required for your DAO to function properly. These should include rules that define how decisions are made, at what stage future proposals can be submitted for voting, and how members can withdraw money from the organization. These rules are equally important to the process as the mission statement. Open a crowd sale. You will need to open a crowdfunding campaign to raise funds for your organization. This can be done through an ICO, initial coin offering, where you sell coins that represent tokens of your new organization. It is also possible to have a token generation event where your DAO owners can generate coins at no cost to obtain ownership of their organization. Build a community. One of the most important steps in establishing a DAO is to build a community around it. The creation and development of these communities are key factors in the success of your organization. Launch your organization. The final step is to launch your organization and make it accessible to the cryptocurrency community. This is done by creating a website that communicates your company's vision and mission in an efficient manner, as well as any specific details that could be pertinent to potential DAO investors. This can also include a white paper that goes over the details of your organization. To launch a DAO, you will need to first establish what it is and the type of entity that it is. The structure of this entity will determine how it is governed, at least in part. This can be done through several different legal structures and methods, each with its pros and cons. Use your community tools. Make use of the tools that your DAO has at its disposal. This can include many different types of communication services such as online forums, chat rooms, and social media accounts. Create new proposals. Once you have a set of rules and a community, you will now have the ability to submit new proposals for your DAO. These proposals are voted on by the members, and if a proposal receives enough votes, it will be approved. Establish funding goals. When establishing a funding goal for your DAO, you will need to come up with a specific figure that you are willing and able to achieve. Accept new members. Once a proposal has been voted in and approved by all members, new members can be accepted. A member will become an owner of the organization once they have contributed an amount that is specified by the organization. A contribution can be anything, whether it is money or other resources. Discover governance. The first thing you'll need to do after creating your DAO and launching its crowdfunding campaign is to discover governance. This is because you'll need to understand what type of entity it is, which will help you in the future decisions that are required. Raise funds. Raise funds for your DAO. This can be done through a variety of different methods. You can create a crowdfunding campaign for those who wish to invest in your organization. There are also many ICOs available that specialize in this type of activity. Determine ownership. When determining the ownership of your DAO, you need to ensure that each member that has contributed can have some degree of influence over the direction of your organization. This will help ensure efficiency and proper decision-making. When you set up a DAO in such a way that members can vote on decisions and reflect membership access, you are distributing ownership of the organization. NFTs and fungible tokens are the two methods that can be used to share ownership. ERC20 token. While some DAOs use ERC20 tokens as their governance weight, other DAOs use non-fungible tokens, NFTs. Both have benefits and drawbacks, the specifics of which are determined by the sort of DAO you use and how it functions. It is important to understand that a DAO can't survive on its own. What will be needed for this to happen is a community. This means cultivating and growing relationships with various members and groups throughout the cryptocurrency community. Conclusion. The DAO is one of the most radical, yet revolutionary new ideas in the world of cryptocurrency. It is an idea that has changed the way that people can make decisions and invest in new organizations. This is being done without centralized control, which allows for direct market surveillance, a feature that should be of interest to many investors. In essence, this means that anyone can vote on proposals and be guaranteed that everyone will abide by their decision. It also means their investments will be protected from any potential future mishaps or frauds. The future of DAOs is bright, which means that the value of this type of cryptocurrency will continue to increase. DAOs have a variety of options available when it comes to funding, and they can also be used to protect assets and profits. This makes them a very useful asset in the world of cryptocurrency, especially for those who wish to do business without being subject to the rules imposed by governments and other regulatory agencies.